they don't have a clear guidance on which way to go. Both administrations, by the way, this one and the last did not have. And to be fair, it's so new and so disruptive that it's hard to like. This is a very challenging thing. This is very challenging. It's being adopted very, very quickly outside the government, and they don't have a clear path on where to go. And I think most governments are kind of they're doing something, but we don't know if it's the right way to go. I think the EU has been probably the most mature response to AI, and China's probably been the most reckless, from what I've seen. But they have the most control over their own stuff, so they're kind of just throwing stuff out there and doing stuff, throwing it out there, doing stuff, throwing it out there. Do you? Okay, another question here. Another question. He says, leadership in government is fearful of new things. Yes, absolutely. They're very risk averse. And then Matthew says, do you think it's smart to stake my time in AI or try to master cyber GRC, then adopt AI into larger organizations? Or okay, so Matthew, let me just tell you what I'm doing. This is a very great question that you pose. Just so you know my background, I've been doing this for since 2000. Year 2000 I got into IT. Um Mostly 95% of my job, 90% has been in the federal government. So this is a very good question that you ask. And now AI is emerging, and I'm asking myself the same question you just asked, which is, do I think that where do I put my time? Do I put it in AI to try to master and go deeper into cyber GRC, or what do I do? What is the next move for me? I see how big AI is. It's constantly being talked about. We're in this huge economic tsunami where they're putting literally trillions of dollars into AI. So how do I make a move? I even went to AI and asked it the question myself. Here's what I arrived at. And this is what I'm doing right now. I want to go into AI. Regardless of what you think about it, whether it's disruptive, it's going to destroy all the things that humanity has become, regardless of what you have, if you're a doomer or if you are one of these people that thinks it's going to save the world. I've read both sides of this, because I'm very, very interested in this. Like, this is extremely exciting. And I'm a sci-fi buff, so it's like sci-fi is happening before my very eyes. So as soon as I saw this, I'm like, damn, I got to get into this. I started leaning into it. I started like studying, buying courses on it, and start doing my own projects on the side, doing automation on the back end, integrating it into what I do. The deeper I got into it, the more I realized how integrated it is with cloud. The answer that I was looking for was not what I expected. I thought I could learn a couple tools to build AI systems, right? Which you can, right? You can download. There's tools you can use like LM Studio to download it on your local system and start learning it. You can actually build your own AI based off of some stuff that's open source. You can take open source, open weights, uh, LLMs, large language models with open weights, and then you can configure it and tweak it to speak how you want and everything, which is what like XAI and Grok and all those guys are doing. They did not develop their own. Like, what they did was they took Olama, I think, and then they modified it with their own weights, and then they have this gigantic cluster behind it or whatever, right? But the premise is there, so you can do your own. You can learn it like that and learn super deep. But what I learned is that, given my skill set and what I know about the market as is, AI is depends almost entirely on cloud, which leads me to think that I need to know as much about cloud as possible, as soon as possible. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Um, so what should you do if you want to know, if you want to get deeper into cloud, into AI as a GRC person? You almost have to know more cloud, because AI, like specific example, open AI whenever you spin up a new prompt, or you want to make an image, or you want it to, whatever you're going to do, you make a prompt, make an image, do a business plan, whenever you ask it a question, you have your own instance of OpenAI that's running on a resource in the back end. That resource is in the cloud, spinning up. I believe what it does is creating a container, and especially with agents, it's spinning up a virtualized instance, a container that you just spun it up by doing the prompt. You're asking it to do whatever. It creates a container using Kubernetes. And then this is how all this shit's possible. They're using the cloud infrastructure that can quickly spin up a instance that's using a portion of resources in the cloud. And when I say portion of resource, I mean it's using a little bit of processing power, a little bit of RAM, and a little bit of storage, right, in the cloud to serve it, to give you what you want. The reason why the companies are growing so fast, the AI and all these, is because OpenAI, Olama, Gemini, Perplexity, and all of these are being prompted by everyone on planet Earth. It's not even a close second with other countries. Like, they might have a more powerful model. They might have more powerful models, but the most popular ones are those ones I just mentioned. DeepSeek's in there too. Like, I think it's number 6 or something like that. And let me show you. I'm not lying to you. And maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Maybe it's changed. I'm going to look up what is the market for AI LLMs. I want to see what LLMs have the biggest market share. That's what I'm looking for right now. I want to show you what I'm talking about to make my point. Okay, let me make sure I'm not late here. Okay, not late. Still good. Market share. We want market share of LLMs. Okay, let me see. Market share of LLMs. Now, I just want to emphasize, all of these top guys, what they have in common is that they all have to use the cloud. In production, in testing. Okay, I don't know how accurate this one is. Let me see. 60% of the market share. Okay, looks pretty consistent. Some of these I've never even heard of. Wow. Unbelievable. March 2024. Let's get something a little bit more. Let me show you guys my screen here. So what I'm doing is I'm looking up the market share of LLMs. I just want to give you an idea how powerful this stuff has gotten, like what's going on. Right, look at this. So here, this one right here, I think this is a pretty good one. This is 2025. There's DeepSeek right there with 5.9% of the total market. This dark blue is all ChatGPT. They have 82% of the market share. Gemini, DeepSeek, Perplexity, Claude. These guys have the grade, and I was wrong. DeepSeek has quite a bit, 5.9%, but still pretty small. Why is this important? Why is this important? Well, all of these guys use cloud. This can't function without cloud. So what I'm doing is focusing, learning as much as I can about cloud to possibly pivot into doing more AI, or at least be a part of the platform to do AI. And the reason why is because I want to make myself continue to be valuable for the next 10 years. Next 10 years, I want to be more valuable. So I know that AI is not going to get smaller. It's going to get larger. It's just going to get larger. And the reason why is because it's just so damn useful. It's just so damn useful. It might replace a lot of, now I don't think it's going to replace all jobs or something like that. I think that's like 30, that's many years away. Like, we're not there yet. Is it going to replace some jobs? Absolutely. But I think it might make more jobs. I think it make, for all of the doom and gloom about it taking jobs, the reason why I say this is because I'm in the market. I'm not seeing AI take jobs. I'm just not seeing that. That's not what I'm seeing. What I am seeing is like giant corporations. What they're doing is like Amazon. They let go of like, I don't know, 14,000 people. I think what they're doing is they're trying to free up capital so they can buy more GPUs, because a lot of their centers are going to have to be upgraded to GPUs, which are very expensive. They're going to have to upgrade all their GPUs in order to do more OpenAI and Perplexity and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what they're doing, and they might even have their own model to compete directly with ChatGPT. I think that's their goal. So I don't think it's like a, if this, I think you have a false equivalency. You don't have to say, should I do this or should I do that? It's more like understand the market. So what I'm seeing is AI is going to be used more and more. It's already replacing things like search, enhancing. I shouldn't say replacing. It's more like enhancing search. Like, we haven't stopped using search engines. All that's happened is it's been integrated with what we already have. And I think that's going to happen with browsers. I think it's going to happen with operating systems. It's going to happen with menus. It's going to happen. It's already happening with voice. Like, if you have a voice assistant in your house, AI is already, it's just enhancing all the things we have. But the only way it can do that is for them to have the infrastructure to keep doing it. That's what I think is happening. So I think that you can continue to do GRC and security and stuff, but one thing you might want to put on your plate is cloud. So your original question was, do you think it's smart to stake my time into AI? You should learn as much AI as possible, or try to master cyber GRC than to adopt AI. Depends on where you're at right now. For me, having already a strong GRC background, cyber background, I know I want to do cloud. I mean, I want to do AI, but the best way for me to do it is to get into cloud. I'm most cloud adjacent. If I was just starting out, it would depend. If I was starting out from scratch, would I answer this question differently? Yes, because then it would depend on what I want to do. So if I was a student and I would probably do computer science, And then it will be a matter of, what do I want to do? Do I want to make AI? Do I want to be a part of the guys who fix or maintain or create machine learning systems? Or do I want to, like, what do I want to do? How deep into the science do I want to go? Or do I want to be an engineer, or do I want to be a scientist? It'd be a question like that. It'd be a completely different question, right? So I mean, I hope that gives you some insight. I don't know if that answers your question. It depends on, for me to answer it more properly, I would have to know where you're coming from. I think Matthew goes on to say, I think cyber will be valuable when trying to restore the remains of human intelligence after AI is done with us. I just don't think, like, there's an apocalyptic ending to all of this. I just don't see that. I don't know. I think there's these two different schools of thought that I've noticed. People are going to one extreme or the other. People are thinking it's either going to be like James Cameron Terminator, where Skynet takes over everything, destroys all humanity. And then there's another one where it's Ray Kurzweil, who thinks about transhumanism is going to emerge with humans, and then humans are going to become super intelligent with AI as we merge. I think the answer is somewhere in between. I don't think it's apocalyptic doom where it crushes all humanity and goes through time to do that. And I don't think it's the other way, where we merge with it and suddenly become these sentient energy beings. It's somewhere, the answer is somewhere in between. But that in between will be so transformative that we won't be able to relate. We live in a time where we're about to transform into something else. It's going to be, looking back on these times before AI gets bigger, it'll be the equivalent of us looking back on Victorian times, before steam engines, before light bulbs, before electricity, before, like, the mindset of those people, of the coming out of the dark ages, is so different than how people think now, that we're completely different as a species from those times. Their mindset was completely different. The things they did, the actions they took, are things we would not do now. For all the shit we talk about, the wars and everything, and all the frustration we have, it was 100 times worse back then. It was 1,000 times worse back then. If you think about how bad it was during, like, a good example would be during, like, the time of kings and queens and stuff. That shit would never fly now. Slavery, all that. Are there remnants of it? Yes. Like, people kind of throw around those words like slavery, and yes, that's some of it. Like, there's human trafficking. I'm not saying it doesn't exist or anything like that. But at that time, it was okay. I mean, slavery is in the Bible. It's not like it just cropped up in the 1700s, 1600s, right? Like, it didn't just start. Humanity been doing that for thousands of years to different tribes and different people for centuries. You know what I mean? So that shit would never fly now. Not on that scale, like where humans are chattel. It would never happen now. There's other things happen. I'm not saying, we're out of the woods yet on stuff. My point is, the mindset of us now is 100% different than the mindset of people who enslaved entire tribes and races of people. And slavery happened for thousands and thousands of years. It's in the Bible. Like in the Bible, in the first 5 chapters in the Torah. It's in the freaking Torah. And it happened. Think about this, thousands of years old that it happened. And now the modern mindset, because of all of these advances and how far we've come as a civilization, as a species, that would not fly now. We're going to be we live in a time where we're about to have a transformative change where we the mindset that we were born with, that you and I grew up with, will be night and day from what's about to happen. Something's about to happen. I don't think it's going to be James Cameron Terminator 1994. Like Larry's saying here. I don't think it's going to be Skynet. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's somewhere in between transhumanism and the apocalypse. Something in the middle is about to happen to us. But that middle is about to be very, very transformative to where it's night and day. Like it'll be enough to where it's shockingly different. You can see it's happening like in real time, and it's scaring the shit out of people. And I think that's why we got all this stuff happening right now. Because we're going through this gigantic change. Humans are going through some kind of giant change. Like our whole mindset's different. Our values are changing. Data's moving more rapidly than ever. We're on the verge of like 3 different gigantic revolutions that are all happening at once. Energy revolution that it's not really talked about, but something's happening with energy where I don't know if you guys read about it, but they just